Welcome back to The Explainer. So I am absolutely pumped to have you here today because we are looking at something literally monumental. The 2026 World Cup is officially underway, and let me tell you, absolutely nobody was ready for the sheer scale and the explosive drama we've already seen. We're talking about an event pushing the absolute limits of logistics, technology, and honestly, human endurance. Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack exactly what went down on day one. We'll go from the staggering behind-the-scenes numbers to an opening match that literally shook the earth.
Okay, let's dive into this. The opening ceremony set the stage perfectly, echoing this really epic sentiment. Millions of fans, one shared dream. 48 nations, one champion. Let the greatest games begin. You know, it's poetic, sure, but it also really hits the nail on the head regarding the breathtaking ambition of this summer's tournament. The beautiful game itself hasn't fundamentally changed, but the sheer environment around it absolutely has. So let's look at the numbers driving this new reality.
48. That is the unprecedented number of national teams competing this time around. For decades, we've been used to a much smaller, tighter field. But by expanding to 48 nations, man, we have opened the door to entirely new styles of play, completely new fan bases, and a level of wild unpredictability we've just never seen on the global stage.
And to accommodate that massive roster of teams, this tournament isn't just being hosted by one nation, or even two. We've got 3 separate countries sharing the hosting duties. The geographical footprint of this thing literally spans an entire continent.
Which brings us to this absolutely staggering number, 104. 104 total matches are going to be played. To put that into perspective, the sheer volume of football we're about to witness over the next month is unlike any World Cup in history. The stakes are higher, and the marathon is way longer.
Section 1. The biggest tournament in history.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is breaking down this mind-boggling logistical data. Just take a look at the real photos we framed here next to our sticky man graphics representing the teams. It really captures the vastness of it all. We've got 48 teams traveling across 3 massive host countries, playing in 16 state-of-the-art stadiums, all culminating in 104 matches. This isn't just a sports tournament anymore, guys. It's a massive coordinated continental migration of millions of people.
Section 2. An earth-shaking opening match.
So, zooming in from that massive scale, our very first match featured Mexico squaring off against South Africa. Just look at the real photos in the frame here. They capture the sheer gravity of the legendary Estadio Azteca. 80,000 people packed into this iconic venue, and practically every single one of them was roaring for Mexico. Imagine being that South African team, right? Walking out of the tunnel and hitting this incredibly hostile, just deafening wall of sound.
And talking about the sensory extremes of this crowd, it's a widely known fact that Mexican fans are some of the absolute loudest in the world. But here's the crazy part. They didn't just sing. When 80,000 people started jumping in absolute unison to their chants, it actually caused seismographs in the city to register movement. They literally generated an earthquake-like reading, no joke. That is the exact unbridled energy this World Cup kicked off with.
Section 3. Goals, red cards, and chaos. Okay, tracing the chronological flow of the match, Mexico asserted their dominance incredibly quickly. Just 9 minutes in, Quiñones finds the back of the net, and that sends those 80,000 fans into an absolute frenzy. Then, fast forward to the 67th minute, Raúl Jiménez brilliantly creates space, adds a second goal, and puts Mexico in total control. But then, well, as the clock ticked into the late game, the discipline on the pitch completely unraveled, setting up just a wildly chaotic finale.
3 red cards in a single match. To be absolutely clear here, this is a record-breaking number. We have literally never seen a World Cup opening match feature 3 red cards before. I mean, everybody tuned in wanting history, but nobody expected it to show up quite like this. The intensity was just boiling right over.
And this brilliantly illustrates the wild disciplinary meltdown we saw. Notice the sticky man graphics we put here showing players fleeing the pitch? Yeah, by the time the final whistle blew, the field looked incredibly sparse. Mexico actually finished down a man with 10 players, and South Africa? They finished with only 9 men. At one point, we were literally watching a 10 versus 9 football match on the biggest stage in the entire world. Wild.
But despite all that late-game chaos and the disciplinary meltdown, the essential takeaway from the opener is right here. Mexico secured a 2-0 victory over South Africa.
It was a seriously commanding performance that hands the co-hosts their first 3 crucial points, and honestly, sets them up really well on their way toward the knockout stages.
Section 4. New Tech and Extreme Heat. First up, let's talk about the new official match ball, the Adidas Tridion. It features only 4 panels, which is the fewest ever for a World Cup ball, plus a high-tech internal sensor to help out the referees. But what's really turning heads? Adidas actually modeled it on the core shape of the infamous Jabulani from 2010, which, if you remember, is widely considered the most unpredictable and hated ball ever made. They did add new grooves that goalkeepers supposedly prefer, though. So it's this really bold, kind of polarizing piece of design heritage that we are for sure going to be watching closely. Now, this second massive variable impacting every single game is the weather. 35 degrees Celsius. That is over 95 degrees Fahrenheit, folks. Because this tournament is smack in the middle of the North American summer, players are battling some seriously extreme, oppressive heat out there.
To combat this very real danger, FIFA introduced mandatory water breaks every 23 minutes. And the reaction? It is deeply divided. On one side, as you can see, you have football purists who absolutely hate the disruption. They feel it totally kills the natural flow and momentum of the beautiful game. But on the flip side, the players and coaches generally love it. Not only does it keep them safe, but it basically acts as a free timeout to regroup and tweak their tactics. We're just laying out both realities for you here. Whichever side you're on, it's a major shift in how the game is both played and watched.
And hey, the heat hasn't just been an issue for the players. Let's really quickly trace FIFA's little water bottle saga in the stands. Step 1. FIFA initially banned fans from bringing reusable water bottles into the stadiums. Step 2. The harsh reality of that extreme heat set in, sparking massive pushback and some really valid safety concerns. And Step 3. Within just 48 hours, FIFA completely reversed the ban. It's a rapid little timeline that just highlights exactly how tough it is to manage logistics for an event of this magnitude on the fly.
Section 5. What to watch next.
So the crucial point is knowing exactly where to direct your attention next. Out of the 103 matches still left to play, here's what you absolutely need to circle on your calendar. First, keep a very close eye on Group L. It's already been dubbed the Group of Death this year, and every single match there is going to be an absolute dogfight. Second, you have to tune into Argentina. This is officially Lionel Messi's final World Cup, and let's be real, every time that guy steps onto the pitch, it's historic.
We know the epic scale. We've seen the early chaos, and we understand the new rules. Some teams are going to meet expectations, and others, they are going to utterly shock the globe. Someone is going to cry in front of 1 billion people. But I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder as we head into the next month of matches. In a massive tournament of 48 nations and 104 games, who will become the hero that absolutely nobody saw coming? Keep watching, keep analyzing, and we'll be right here to break it all down for you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.